Ministers, I would ask the Taoiseach, the Minister of Defence, the support offered towards the provision of services by organisations, and your details are supplied, Minister, to make a statement on the matter. And I want to salute all, indeed, our serving soldiers that are on peacekeeping missions at the moment, and all our former members, now retired, the organisation of whom I speak, who try to represent the best they can, who did gallant work and gave gallant service under the Irish flag at the United Nations, Congo and many other places, and put their lives at risk. And we need to support them and look after them and thank them in some small way.
Minister, 2 minutes.
I recognise the value public service was given to the state by retired members of the Defence Forces. Officials from my department and I hold regular meetings with the three Veterans Associations, the United Nations Veterans Associations, IUMVA, the Organisation for National Ex-Service Personnel, ONE, and the Association of the Retired Commissioned Officers, ARCO. The Veterans Association raised issues of concern to their members at these meetings. As part of the support currently offered to veterans, my department has a service-level agreement with IUMVA and ONE, which set out the services the department provides to these associations. Under the terms of the SLAs, my department provides financial support by way of an annual subvention to ONE and IUMVA to support their work and the range of services that they offer to ex-service personnel. Under my direction, the annual grant given to ONE has increased from €44,000 per annum to €100,000 per annum. This significant increase in funding has made a substantial additional contribution to the work of ONE, which provides accommodation to homeless, elderly, disabled ex-members of the Defence Force in Smithfield, Dublin, Athlone and Letterkenny. The subvention given to IUMVA is €11,000 per annum. The funding provided by my department is in support of the general overheads of the organisation. I am strongly supportive of the ONE's plans to increase the number of veteran support centres around the country, and where possible I have permitted the use of the premises in functioning barracks to accommodate the veteran support centres. The purpose of the VSC is to provide somewhere for veterans to receive information and advice, and a welcome place to meet former comrades. The availability of the VSC can assist in preventing homelessness through early intervention, and they also serve a critical function in addressing the loneliness and isolation.
Deputy, your first supplementary.
To acknowledge at the outset, Judith Patton has engaged in the provision of $300,000 towards the funding of services by the Organisation of National Ex-Service Personnel, ONE, and the Irish United Nations Veterans Associations, IUNVA, to former members of the Defence Forces. What I am looking for today, however, is clarity, Minister, and a clear guarantee that the funding will be ring-fenced and that you will provide further detail on the nature of the services that you will be resourced from the allocation. Specifically, I would like to detail at some point the funding for Post-24 of South Tipperary Irish and National Veterans Association, formed in 2004, and which initially held its meetings in Kickham Barracks, Clonmel, when we had the famed barracks. And I just want to see what happens there, because they do tremendous work there, and they are a link. And some of these people have been left, in poor enough circumstances after all their service. And indeed, Minister, I would like you to join with me today in offering sympathies on the death of one of the Clonmel branch members, Jimmy Cagney, who was a veteran of the Congo and who passed away in November.
Thank you, Deputy. Minister, 1 minute. Please.
I would offer my condolences to Jim and his family, and thank him for the service that he gave this country on peacekeeping duties over a long number of years. Deputy, I recently announced that I have secured a total funding of over 300,000 awarded to both ONE and to IUMVA, and I met Ollie O'Connor from ONE and Jim Casey from IUMVA recently and had a meeting with them and explained to them how I would like to strand this funding to both of the organisations. It's only right and proper that we do look after both associations and the Officers Association as well. IUMVA has a drop-in centre in Clonmel, post 24, and located at the former Station Master's house in the town of Clonmel, and it is leased, I understand, on a 10-year lease from Erin Road, Erin. It is an office and a meeting room there, and know that is manned on a daily basis by members. Chairman, I'm not quite sure what's happening at the clock.
No, but we're watching the clock here.
Right.
It's okay. No, when I call, the time is up. So your time is elapsed.
It appears to attract a lot of visitors, and if I can be of any help or assistance to them, that I've no doubt that the extra funding that I did announce recently, if they want assistance, that they can put their project forward through IOM leadership.
Thank you, Minister. I will give a tap with 10 seconds left and give you when there's no clock. Okay. Go ahead, Deputy. Your final supplementary.
2011, after many months of restoration work, Post 24 took up residence at the Station Master's house, as you said, railway station Clonmel, where it continues to improve and develop their highly regarded drop-in service. And many functions have been held there, Minister. And indeed, this week and up to Christmas, dinner has been provided in the same building by volunteers as well to people less fortunate who don't have dinners themselves, people who are homeless, etc. The primary role in providing support, advice and counselling to members and their families who have been affected by their overseas service. That is why I wanted to ask the Minister to provide guarantees, Minister, that funding assistance towards the wonderful organisations South Tipperary National Services personnel will continue to occur. As Veterans of the United Nations operations worldwide, the Clonmel branch of the United Nations Veterans Association continue to support current soldiers, Gardaí and civilian personnel who serve in often dangerous and indeed difficult circumstances as retired personnel with UN service who have represented their country in the best possible way, sometimes at a cost to their health, mental welfare, personal relationships and for some their lives. The association has the approval of the government and has been is interdenominational, is non-denominational and is non-sectarian, non-political. They do what it says in the tin and they look after the present and retired members and they're trying to help themselves. All they want is Natalie to be allowed to support each other.
Minister, to respond, your final response.
Absolutely, Deputy. I fully agree with you and concur with the sentiments that you have stated. But I say that I meet both IUMVA and ONE and the officers, former officers of the Defence Forces on a yearly basis, personally myself, and I know that members of my own department are constantly in contact with them. Recently, I was able to fund an issue out in Arbour Hill in the IUMVA building there, where we put a new roof on their existing building, and also the museum there will receive renovations on the roof there as well. But I very much welcome the visitor centres and support centres that have opened up right across the country, including my own constituency of Wexford, in the Wexford barracks there, where a new support centre will be manned by former members of the Defence Forces, and it's only right and proper that they do have facilities there to go and get support, and we do offer other supports as well through my own department.
Thank you, Minister. Moving on.